Thanks for joining. We'll go ahead and start. We're going to do more of a gentle flow tonight since it's the evening time. And with this time change, it really does feel like it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. It feels later than 6 p.m., but it's only 6 p.m. right now. Let me see. Fix the camera. Okay, that's good. So we'll go ahead and start in child's pose. So go ahead and come down to your mat. You can come down to the hands and knees. And you can go ahead and open up the knees wide, tuck the toes, sit the hips back. We're going to walk the hands forward, rest the head, tuck the chin towards the chest. And so you're opening up those knees wide. If you feel better with them a little closer together, that always works too. It's just however feels good for you. If they're a little wider, you get a little bit more of a hip opener and also a little bit more belly space. You can tuck that chin, rest the head, arms can walk out. You can keep a slight bend in the elbows if that feels better, or even bring those arms behind you, which might be a little bit more comfortable because the weight's more on the head. So whatever feels better for you. We're just going to start here, laying here in this child's pose for a few breaths. So taking a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose or the mouth, nice and long. Just full deep breaths, full belly breaths. So inhale, feeling that belly expand like a balloon. Exhale, nice and long, belly draws in. Just a few more breaths like that. Inhale, feel that belly expand out. Inhaling through the nose and maybe exhaling through the nose or the mouth. Belly draws in. Just relaxing the upper body, any tension in the shoulders or in the neck. Just letting that relax, letting that soften. And then here with your head down, maybe even rock the head to the side, to the right and to the left. Just giving your neck a nice little massage or your head a nice little massage. Or maybe holding it on one side if you're feeling tense on one side of the neck. We'll stay here for about 3 more full belly breaths. Just to really get centered, settle down from the day, any stressors of the day. If it was a busy day, just slowing things down now. Letting go of any stress of the outside world, any things going on politically, the elections, just letting that go for this next hour. It'll all be there after this class, but trying to see if you can tune into that breath and let the other outside world just fade away. Noticing if you're carrying tension in the body anywhere. Trying to breathe into that area maybe with each exhale. We'll stay here just actually 2 more breaths. One last breath here. And then you can slowly rise up, coming back to, actually we'll stay here with the feet, the knees bent, the feet can be here. And we're just gonna go ahead and bend that left elbow, look over that right shoulder. And then here, oh yeah, so you can shift the hips a little further back. Then go ahead and bend the right elbow, look over that left shoulder, just for a nice little stretch. And then slowly coming back to the center, we'll come back to tabletop pose. So here, hands are right below the shoulders, fingers are spread wide, knees are about hip width apart, and tops of the feet are on the mat. We're gonna go for those cat-cow poses. So inhale, lift that heart, belly, drop slow, tailbones high. And then you're gonna exhale, dome and round. Tuck that chin towards the chest, tuck that tailbone low. I'm gonna go this way. And just doing a few more of those at your own pace, keeping with that breath. So inhale, lift that heart. Dropping that belly, tailbones high. Exhale, dome and round. Tuck that chin towards the chest. Tuck that tailbone. Maybe leaning back here if you want a little deeper stretch on the low back. You can kind of shift the hips a little further back. And inhale, pull that chest forward. Belly soft. Tailbones high. And here, notice your shoulders if they're cramping up towards the ears, pulling them down away from the ears. Exhale, dome and round. Maybe shift those hips back. Maybe squeeze those abs. And then inhale, pull it forward. Doing that 2 more times at your own pace, keeping with that breath. I'm gonna check if anybody else signed in really quick. Okay. So 1 more time here, doing a cat-cow. Last time here. And then here, we can go ahead and bring our knees close together. You can inhale, keep that spine long. Exhale, drop the hips over to the left. Dropping the hips over. And then inhale back to the center. You don't have to touch the floor or anything. You're just going to where you feel a good stretch. Exhale, dropping to the right. And then if that doesn't feel good, you can always drop the hips further back, like to the back and to the side. Kind of coming back to the center and exhale to the other side. So seeing which way feels better for you. Inhale and exhale. So making hip drops either to the side, side to side, or kind of forward and back to the side. So whatever feels better here. Keeping with that breath, going at your own pace. We'll do about 2 more of those. And making sure you can stay connected to that breath. And you'll start to build heat in the body when you're really in tune with that full belly breath. And then here, just go ahead and sit back onto those heels if that feels okay. You can always sit down onto the bottom if it doesn't feel good on the knees or the ankles. You can always bring a blanket underneath there. We're just going to do a few wrist circles here. Releasing the hands out. And so bringing the hands out, you can bring them to fists. Do a few circles and release them out. Shake out the hands. We'll do 1 more stretch for the wrists here. So you can bring the hands out, fingers pressed out towards the edges of the mat. So turning the fingers outward. And then here, hands could be right below the shoulders. We're gonna inhale, shift the weight slightly forward, just nice and slow. And exhale, shifting the weight back. So this should stretch out your wrists here. Strengthen the wrists as well. Inhale, lean forward, and exhale, shifting back. 1 more time, going forward. And then just bringing it down. And then here, we'll go ahead and sit onto our bottoms. We'll do 1 more little seated series. Go ahead and come onto the bottom here. You can keep the legs crossed or straight out in front of you if it doesn't feel good to cross them. We'll just go ahead and bring the neck around nice and slow. And the slower you go, the more you're going to feel tension release. Maybe hang out in a certain area a little longer. And then slowly going the opposite direction. If you find a spot of tension on one side, you can stay there a little longer. Maybe breathe into it a little bit more. And then here, let's go ahead and slowly look over to the right side. So just moving from the neck here. Inhale and exhale, drop. Go ahead and kind of make like a U, dropping that chin down towards the chest and bringing that head over to the left side. Looking over to the left side here, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Take a deep inhale here and exhale. 1 more breath here, inhale and exhale, drop that chin again, making like a U shape cross over, like half circle over to the right side. And then here, just go ahead and come back to neutral here. And we'll go ahead and drop that chin towards the chest. Tuck that chin towards the chest. And maybe you stay here, spine's long, shoulders relaxed. If you want more, you can bring those fingertips behind the back of the head. Inhale, taking a breath here. Exhale, maybe pressing the head down a little bit to get a gentle stretch there. One more breath here. And then slowly release the hands. Then you can bring, so you can tuck that chin back towards, just tilt that chin up, lifting that chin up, head going back. Maybe you feel it there. If you want more, you can interlace those fingers. Bring those hands right underneath the chin to give yourself a deeper stretch. One more breath here. And slowly release it down. And then here, let's inhale, sweep those arms up, getting that length in the spine. And exhale, bring that left hand across the right knee. And the right hand can come behind you or to the side. Maybe it's here, maybe it's behind you. You're inhaling, getting that length in the spine. And exhale, maybe going a little deeper, maybe looking over to the side or behind you, whatever feels good. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale, finding a little bit more space. And slowly you can sway from side to side. And this should just bring out any tension in the upper back. This one feels really good. Swaying from side to side. And then we're going to go ahead and come back to the center. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And go ahead and bring that right hand across that left knee. Left arm can come behind you or to the side. Inhale, getting that length. And exhale, maybe going a little deeper. Inhale, getting that length in the spine. And exhale. Maybe finding more space, maybe looking to the side. And then slowly coming back to the center, you can sway from side to side. And then here, we'll do one more thing here. So inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, go ahead and bring the hands to prayer. Elbows are touching here. Try to get them to touch. If they don't, that's okay. You're trying to bring everything close. Relax the shoulders down. And we're going to inhale, lift those elbows up. And exhale, lower them down. You should feel this in the shoulder blades there. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, lowering down. One last time here. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. Release the hands out. And then here, we'll go ahead and make our way back to tabletop. We're going to flow a little, but it's going to be a slow flow. Nothing too crazy. And if anything is too much, you can always drop down to child's pose, which is the pose we did at the beginning of the class like this. You can go there anytime when you need a break, if anything's too much. So when you're ready, go ahead and plant the hands down. Fingers are spread wide, knees are about hip width apart. Then from there, tuck the toes, lift the hips, press those hips back. And you're pressing those hips back, pressing the heels down to touch towards the mat, but they don't have to touch. Hips are pressing back. Just relaxing the head and neck here, just let it dangle. Make sure there's no tension in the head. You can rock your head yes and no. And then here you can start to bend the right knee and then the left knee. So your body's like an upside down V here. Chest is pressing towards those feet and gripping with the hands, and you're breathing. So yeah, you don't have to walk the dog, but you can do this bending the right knee and the left knee. That just gives you a nice little calf stretch as well. Or maybe you just want to focus on your down dog today. Gripping those hands, strong arms, pressing the weight a little bit more into the legs. We'll stay here one last breath. Go ahead and add a bend to those knees, lift between the hands, and we'll slowly walk it forward. So walking it forward to forward fold. Here, just let letting everything hang, everything dangle. Maybe add a bend to the knees if your body's feeling tight, or just feels too much to keep them straight. You can always add a bend. Otherwise here, just feeling the stretch either in the hamstrings or the low back. Then you can start to sway from side to side. Just turn this way. So you can sway from side to side. You can bring the opposite hands to opposite elbows. Or if you want, you can even clasp those hands behind your back. If that feels good, or grab a towel. If this is too hard to clasp your hands, you can always grab a towel here or a strap. And one last breath here. Wherever you are, go ahead and bring those arms down. Just go ahead and walk those feet a little further out, like to the edges of the mat. And then here, let's go ahead and add a bend to those knees, bringing that chest down towards those thighs. Just feeling the stretch in the low back. And then inhale, lengthen that spine, spine's long. Walk back a little. Hips pressing back, straightening those legs now. And exhale, fold forward. Bend those knees. Feeling that stretch in the low back. Inhale, getting that length in the spine. Straightening those legs, pressing the hips back. And exhale, bend those knees, bring the chest down. And then staying here, you can walk the feet in a little bit, keeping that bend in the knees. We'll slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time with the head and neck coming up last. Rolling those shoulders back a few times. You can roll those shoulders back. And go ahead and bring that right arm back and the left arm. Doing like a back swing stroke here. And then here, let's go ahead and, so staying at the top of your mat, I'm just gonna turn this way so you guys can see better. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And then exhale, drop the right hand, bring the left over to the right for that nice side stretch here. So you're really pressing into that left foot. Inhale, getting that length. Exhale, maybe going a little deeper. And inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, drop the left arm, bring the right arm over to the left. And pressing into that right foot, really feel that stretch. Inhale, getting that length. Exhale, maybe going a little deeper. And then inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And here we're going to go for that mountain pose. So this is just a really grounding pose. Really simple, but can also be active. So you're going to press into those feet. Legs are about hip width apart. Hands come out to the sides, palms pressed forward. Spine's long, abs are in, and you're tilting that pelvis forward, tucking that booty to keep those abs engaged a little bit more. You can maybe close the eyes here. Maybe soften the gaze. Maybe set an intention, a type of feeling that you want to feel the rest of the night. Maybe calmness, kindness to yourself or to your loved ones. Whatever that intention is, remembering that when your mind starts to wander. And then here you can open the eyes if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Maybe look on the floor a few inches in front of you. And you can try lifting up onto those tiptoes, maybe just slightly lifting the heels to start. Maybe just a slight lift to start. You're pressing into the big toes more. You can look down on the floor, or if you want more of a challenge, you're gonna look straight ahead. Breathing here. One last breath here. Inhale and exhale, bring those legs down. Shake out those legs. And then we'll try that one more time, coming up to the tiptoes, or you can stay on the heels because we're gonna add on to that, making it a little bit more challenging. So inhale, come up to those tiptoes. Then go ahead and inhale, sweep those arms up. Interlace those fingers, I'll come this way. And then turn the palms up. And then here, we're gonna inhale, exhale, twist over to the right. Maybe staying on your tiptoes, or if that's too challenging, bring the heels down. Inhale back to the center, exhale, and then inhale over to the left side. Inhale here and exhale back to the center. Release the hands down, release the feet down, release the hands down. And then let's go ahead and come to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Maybe slight back bend. And exhale, hinge from the hips, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, spine's nice and long. Hands could be on the shins. And then exhale, plant the hands down. We'll step it back to plank. So you can be, for plank, you could be full plank. Here, tucking that booty low, abs are in, or you can be on the knees, tops of the feet on the mat, either option. Abs are in, spine's long, and you're pressing away. Breathing here, inhale, elbows tucked in, slowly lower down with control. Tops of the feet on the mat. Let's inhale, lift up for cobra. So just pulling the chest up, elbows tucked in, relaxing the glutes. Exhale, lower down. We'll do that one more time. If you want to go up higher, you can. So if you want to go to up dog, press into the palms a little bit more. Inhale, lift that heart. Lifting that heart, rolling the shoulders back. So if you're a little higher, rolling those shoulders back more. And then exhale, tuck the toes. Lift the hips to downward facing dog. And then here, inhale. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale, side out. Add a bend to those knees, inhale, press that chest back. And exhale, step or jump it forward to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, spine nice and long. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up high to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep those arms up, maybe slight back bend. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, keeping that spine long. Exhale, plant the hands down. Step or jump it back to plank. Holding it here for a breath, using those strong arms, strong core. And exhale, lower down with control. Inhale to cobra, up dog, either option. And exhale to downward facing dog. And then go ahead and take a full deep breath here. You want to make sure you're staying connected to that breath. So you shouldn't be fully out of breath, just feeling that heart rate in the breath a little faster, but not completely out of breath. So inhale here, pressing that chest back, bending those knees. You can step, jump, or walk it forward to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, spine nice and long. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up high to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that 1 more time, going at your own pace, keeping with that breath. Inhale, sweep those arms up, maybe slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands down, step or jump it back to plank. Inhale here, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, pull that chest through to cobra, up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Walking the dog here. Let's go ahead and take a break. Coming back to tabletop pose. And making sure you're still with that breath. So you can even just take a full deep breath here. If you need some water at any time, grab some water. We're going to go for a gentle pose here. So go ahead and come standing on the knees. Knees are about hip width apart. This is similar to child's pose, but a little different. So yeah, you can walk the knees a little further back if you need to, because you're gonna walk the hands all the way down, pressing those hips down. So you're standing on your knees and then walking the hands out, pressing those hips back. And the top of the forehead is on the mat, tucking that chin towards the chest so your nose is not in the mat. So top of the forehead maybe by where the hairline meets. And breathing, your chest is pressing down towards the mat to really feel that deep shoulder stretch here. And breathing, full belly breaths here. You're in your puppy dog pose. Slowing the breath down, slowing things down. We'll stay here for about 2 more breaths. If you need some water anytime, grab some water. And one last breath there. And then you can slowly come back up to tabletop pose. And then here, we're going to do a little stretch for our hips here. So you're going to bring the hands down, fingers spread wide, pressing away from the mat, staying in this with your knees hip width apart. Go ahead and inhale, lift that right leg high. Toes can be forward a little. Toes could be pointed. And then we're going to inhale, bring that foot over to the left. Toes can touch the ground or hover. And then exhale over to the right. So it's like you're making a rainbow with that leg. Inhale back to the other side. And exhale over to the other side, making a rainbow here. You should feel this in your hips. If you want to go a little further, you can, out to the side, or maybe just a little bit back. So just going to where it feels good for you. Keeping with that breath. Inhaling to one side and exhaling to the other. We'll do that 2 more times. And one last time. So this is called, I like to call this one like rainbow kicks. Rainbow length, yeah, I guess rainbows. And slowly bringing it down back to the center. You can rock the hips side to side or press those hips back if you're feeling that in the glutes. And we'll try the other side when you're ready. We'll go ahead and press away from the mat, fingers spread wide. And then go ahead and bring that left leg back, toes pointed. Inhale here, exhale to the right. And then inhale here to the other side, to the left. Inhale to the right. And exhale to the left side. So just going to where it feels good for you. Maybe you start small. Maybe go a little bit, find a little deeper as you go on. Do that 2 more times. Keeping with that breath at your own pace. You got this. Okay, so this is a great stretch for our outer hips, but also you're going to feel this in the glutes as well. And the hamstrings. One last time here. And slowly back to the center. You can press those hips back. Just take a little break there. And slowly coming back up. We're going to flow a little bit more and then slow things down. So we'll do about 1 or 2 more flows. Go ahead and plant the hands down, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Breathing here. Inhale here, exhale, press those hips back a little bit more. And then plant the weight into those hands in that left foot. Let's inhale, lift that right leg high. You're going to bring it into the chest, step it forward. And then here, stand on the back left toes for that high runner's lunge. Inhale, sweep those arms up. So you're standing on the back left toes. That back leg can be straight, or you can add a bend to the knee if that feels better. Arms are strong. Shoulders relaxed, spine's long. Breathing here. You got this for that crescent lunge. 1 more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, bend those elbows, opening up those arms for like a cactus. Opening up that chest, maybe slightly lifting it up if you want a little bit more. And then inhale, reach those arms up. Bring those hands down. Go ahead and bring that left knee down onto the mat. Top of the left foot onto the mat. And then you can bring that left hand. So if you have a block or a pillow here, you can always bring that block right here and bring that left hand down, right arm up. Otherwise, just bring it onto the mat. Right arm is reaching up. You could do a few wrist circles here. Or if this ever becomes too much on the shoulder, you can always just bring that hand down. You're reaching up, looking towards that hand if it's okay on the neck, or just look straight down. 1 last breath here. Inhale and exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale here, exhale shift back, shift the hips back, and you're gonna come onto the ball of that right foot. So now that leg's nice and long, leg is straight. Inhale, keeping that length. Exhale, bringing that head towards that knee. So you're just trying to keep that leg straight. If it has a slight bend, that's okay. When you first start out, it's gonna naturally have a slight bend. Sometimes even after doing it a long time, you still get that bend. You're flexing the toes back towards the head to feel a deeper stretch. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and bring that foot down. And then go ahead and bring both hands onto the inside of that right foot. Walk that right foot out to the right edge for a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Lizard lunge. Inhale and exhale. Maybe if you want a little bit more, you can come down to the forearms. Or you just stay here, not forcing anything, not forcing yourself to get to a certain place, just going to where you feel a good stretch. And that right knee can press away from the body to open up the hip a little bit more, or you feel it here. One last breath here, full belly breath. And slowly bring that foot back to the center. In between the hands, go ahead and tuck the left toes, lift that left knee up, and you're gonna step that right foot back. And then inhale here, exhale, lower down. Inhale, pull that chest through, and exhale to downward facing dog. Catching your breath here, keeping with that breath, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Then let's inhale, lift that left leg high, pressing into those palms. And exhale, step it forward. Step that left foot forward now. Staying on the right toes. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up. So really, a lot of balance here. Make sure those feet are not in a straight line. So left foot is out to the left edge, right is out to the right a little bit. And that helps you to balance a little bit more. Pressing into those feet strongly, secure. Then lift those arms up. Arms strong, shoulders relaxed. And hips are pressed forward. Breathe in here in your crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale, bring those elbows to like that cactus pose here, goal post. Inhale, lift that heart maybe, and exhale, sweep those arms up. Inhale, and exhale, sweep those arms down. Go ahead and bring that right knee down, right top of the foot down. And here again, if you want to just bring that hand down onto the mat, or if you have a block or pillow, you can bring that there, lift that left arm up for that shoulder stretch here. Inhale and exhale, maybe opening up that shoulder a little bit more, or you can always bring that hand down if it hurts the arm or the shoulder. And one last breath here. And exhale, bring that left hand down. So bringing both hands down. Let's inhale here. Exhale, shift the hips back, coming onto the ball of that left leg. Inhale here. Exhale, bring that head towards that knee. Doesn't have to touch or anything, just the motion. And you can flex the toes back towards the head if you want to grab with that left hand. You can for a deeper stretch. Or both hands, which is really challenging. Either option. Otherwise, just keep the hands down here. One last breath here. And then exhale, bring that foot back down. Let's go ahead and bring both hands down. Walk that left foot out to the left edge a little bit. Hands are here. Inhale. Exhale, just relax. You can let that head and neck dangle. Let it be soft. Make sure there's no tension there. So really feeling the stretch in the hips here. It's a really deep hip stretch. If you want more, you can always lower down one arm or both, but not forcing anything. We'll stay here for about 2 more breaths, full belly breaths. And one last breath here. And slowly coming back to the center. Go ahead and tuck the back right toes, lift that right knee, and we'll step it back to plank. If you want to vinyasa here, you can, or you can always wait in down dog Otherwise, exhale, lower down. Inhale, pull that chest through. And exhale to downward facing dog. Let's inhale here. Exhale, press those hips back. Let's walk it forward to forward fold. And then here, inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Let's add a bend to those knees. Inhale, squat it back for that chair pose. So you're going to squat it back here. Pressing those hips back for a chair squat here. So pressing into those heels more, squatting the hips back, tucking that booty, pressing the pelvis forward. And then arms strong, fingers turn inward, chest is lifted. One last breath here, maybe going a little deeper into this squat, and slowly come out. Shake out those legs. You got this. Good job. We'll go ahead and let's see the time. Okay. So we'll go ahead and come onto the side, one side of your mat. Lengthwise, you're going to step the feet far apart, about pretty far to where you feel a good stretch in the legs, and feet are parallel to each other. So just a good distance there. Go ahead and bring the hands to the lower back. You can inhale, lift that heart, pressing those hips forward slightly, and exhale, press the hips back now, and you can walk the hands down. So bringing the hands down onto the mat, or if you have a block or pillow here, and you want that, say your hands don't meet the floor, you can always bring a block here. This is a good place to use one. Sometimes I even just like to do it just to feel a different stretch. And so here, you can bring the hands wherever, onto the floor, onto the ankles. And just breathing, just let everything dingle, everything hang. Feeling that head relax. Make sure there's no tension between on the head or the neck. You can shake your head from side to side. If your hands touch, you can even lock those hands behind you. See how that stretch feels. Bringing that head down a little lower. Pressing those hips back, pressing into the feet firmly. And go ahead and bring the hands back down wherever you are. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths, full belly breaths. For this wide-legged forward fold. One last breath here. And then slowly bring the hands down, maybe to the ankles or to the tops of the knees. You can add a bend to those knees. And slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. With the head and neck coming up last, you can add a bend to those knees. Walk those feet in, shake out the legs. And then here, we'll go for that goddess squat here. So go ahead and bring those feet back, kind of not parallel to each other, but in the same direction, same length across from each other. And now the feet are 45 degrees, so going slightly out. Heels are pressed in, toes pointed out. And then here you can bring the hands to prayer, so spine's long, and then sink into it, bending those knees. So you should feel this deep stretch in the hips here. You can bring the hands to prayer. Breathing here if you want a little bit more, so spine's long. So normal squats, your booty's pressing back here, our spine's long, booty's tucked in. And then here you can sweep those arms up. If you want a little bit more, you should be feeling this in the legs. For a goddess pose. One last breath here, maybe going a little deeper, or rocking side to side, and slowly coming up. You can shake out those legs, feel that there. And then here, let's go ahead and come to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep those arms up high. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, spine nice and long. Exhale, fold forward. Go ahead and add a bend to those knees. We're going to inhale, sweep those arms up one more time for a chair. So coming to that chair, I'm just going to go this way. You're staying at the top of your mat. Bring the hands down to prayer. So keeping the knees bent here. Inhale and exhale, bring that left elbow across the right knee, over to the right. for a chair twist. Breathing here into this twist, keeping that spine long, pressing the hips back. One last breath here, and inhale back to the center. Let's inhale here and exhale, bring that right elbow across the left knee, going over to the left. Just going as far as it feels good for you in the twist. You don't have to go that far if it doesn't feel good. Pressing those hips back, inhale, and exhale, coming back to the center, and slowly standing up. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up here, and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, spine nice and long. Exhale, plant the hands down, we'll step, or jump it back to plank. And we're just gonna hold this plank here this time. Inhale and exhale, shift those hips back to downward facing dog. And here we're gonna do a really deep stretch for the legs for pigeon pose. So let's inhale, sweep that right leg high. Exhale, bring that right knee down. Can you bring that right knee down to the right edge of the mat? Bring that left leg back behind you for pigeon pose. So this is a really deep stretch. And if this is too much, I can show you a modified version too. I'm gonna walk that left knee back here, keep that spine long. Getting those hips square to the front of the room. If you have a block here, you can use a block or a pillow. And then you can walk the hands down here. So that right knee is down at an angle, pressing out diagonally. And then you can bring that head down, walk the hands out. If you can lower down or just stay on the hands up here or on the forearms, whatever feels good. Otherwise, you're just gonna lower all the way down, tuck that chin towards the chest, keeping that spine long, and breathing here. And if that's too much, that pigeon pose, I'll show you a modified version, just in case. So if that one was too much, you can always bring that left, come to a seated position, bring that left knee in, and that right, I'll show you this way. So left knee in, right foot in front here, and then you're gonna slowly press the hips forward. And that's the same benefits, it's a modified version. So wherever you are, if you're in pigeon, stay in there, or seated pigeon. We're gonna stay there for a few more breaths, full belly breaths here. So maybe you're here or seated, either option. This is a really great stretch for your hips, your inner thighs, and your lower back as well. Just breathing here. You might feel a little awkward if it's your first time ever trying it. Might feel a little tight in certain areas. So keeping connected to that full belly breath is really important here with each exhale. Trying to relax any tense parts in the body. We'll stay here for about 2 more breaths. One last breath here. And then you can slowly come up. You want to come out of this one really slow, just being careful, being mindful. Go ahead and bring that left knee in a little bit, tuck the left toes, pressing into the hands, then go ahead and bring that right knee back. You can come to down dog here. You can pedal the feet to release tension in the legs, maybe lift the one leg at a time, if that feels good. Lifting the feet up. And then coming back to that down dog, we'll try the other side. So you can do either the full pigeon or the seated pigeon, either option. Inhale, lift that left leg high. Exhale, bring that knee down and over to the left. You're scooting that foot slightly up, but it doesn't have to be a straight line. You're gonna walk maybe that knee an inch or two back, a few inches, keeping that spine long. So first to start, you're squaring those hips forward first. And then if you feel good there, you can start to lower down, a little bit lower, and a little lower. You can bring that blocker, book, or pillow, whatever, that kind of just adds some more support to your spine, keeping that spine long. Makes it a little gentler on the body. Breathing here, full belly breaths. And again, if you're staying there, or the seated pigeon, which would be bringing that right knee in, and that left foot comes out slightly. And you're gonna inhale, keep that spine long, and walk the hands forward. And either way you're feeling, the knees are pressing down. You're feeling a deep stretch either way. So wherever you are, just breathing full belly breaths here. If you lost that breath, that's okay. Just keep coming back to it. And if your mind starts to wander, coming back to that intention that we set at the beginning of class. Just a few more full belly breaths here. So full deep inhales here, feeling that belly expand. And exhale nice and long, completely emptying out the lungs, belly drawing in. We'll stay here for about 2 more breaths. And if you ever need to come out sooner, at any pose, you can. One last breath. And then you can slowly come up, pressing onto those hands nice and slow. Maybe walking that right knee in a little bit, tuck the toes, then lift that left knee back. And maybe you rock the hips side to side, or maybe you go to down dog. Our last down dog here, you can walk the dog, maybe rock the hips side to side. Inhale here and exhale, bring those knees down. And then here, we can go onto our bottoms here. Yeah, let me check the time. Yeah, so we can come onto our bottoms now. So here, we'll go for one more stretch here before we lower down onto our backs. So here we can inhale, gain that length, bringing the legs out. Feet are flexed towards your body. And you're keeping that length here in the spine. Inhale, and then exhale, reaching forward. And so you don't have to touch the feet. If you're hunching over to get there, it's not good. Keeping that spine long. Maybe just grabbing onto the shins to start. Full belly breaths here. Inhale and exhale, hinging from the hips a little bit more. Maybe you go a little deeper with each exhale. And this forward fold. You can tuck that chin towards the chest. Tuck that tailbone. Feeling that spine nice and long. Maybe things are starting to open up a little bit more from the low back. We'll stay here for about 3 more breaths. Maybe you can go a little deeper with each exhale. Full deep breaths. You want to hear that sound of your breath. And one last breath here. And you can slowly let go, slowly come out. You can windshield wiper those knees from side to side, bend those knees. And then we'll go ahead and come onto our backs now. So go ahead and come with the knees bent. You can slowly rock back, bring the knees into the chest, and you can rock from side to side. Giving yourself a nice little massage here. The hard part is done. All we gotta do now is relax. And give your lower back a nice little massage. Maybe bring those legs straight up, flex the toes, grab behind the backs of the thighs or the ankles or calves, wherever you can. Just get a nice little stretch here. One more little hamstring stretch. And slowly bring the knees into the chest. Bring those feet down, knees bent. Go ahead and bring the arms out to a T. Scoot those hips slightly over to the left and bring the knees over to the right. So you're bringing those knees over to the right. Palms are pressed down. Now you can flip the palms up and look over to that left hand if that feels okay on the neck. Otherwise, you could just look straight up. But that left shoulder is pressing down into the mat to really feel that deep twist in the spine. And breathing here. Maybe closing the eyes, maybe relaxing the face if you have one already. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. Just feeling your body melt into the mat, completely letting go. Letting go of unnecessary thoughts. Just coming back to that breath. Quieting the mind. Just about 3 more breaths here. One last breath here. And you can go ahead and flip the palms down. Bring the knees back to the center. Realign the hips. And then go ahead and skip the hips slightly over to the right. Bring the knees over to the left. And each side's different, so just going as far as it feels good for you. You can bring the arms out to a T, palms pressed up now. Maybe look over to that right hand or look straight up. Pressing that right shoulder down into the mat to really feel that stretch. And then just relaxing the face. Maybe softening the gaze or closing the eyes. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve your mind or your body. Just feeling that belly rise as you inhale. And as you exhale, feeling the belly fall. Just about 3 more breaths here. One last breath here. Go ahead and flip the palms down. Bring the knees back to the center. Realign the hips. You can bring the knees into the chest one last time. And then go ahead and lay out for Shavasana, final resting pose of the meditation. So you can lay out, feet can flop out here, hands can come out to the sides, or you can add a bend to the knees if you have low back pain, or butterfly the feet open, whichever feels good for you. Just letting everything relax. Close the eyes, relax the face. Soften the jaw. Go ahead and take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. One more breath like that. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Feeling your body melt into the mat. Everything getting light but heavy into the earth. Feeling nice and grounded. I'll leave you in peace for the next few moments. Just enjoy. And then here, you can slowly start to wiggle the fingers, slowly start to wiggle the toes. Taking your time, feeling some energy come back to the body. Takes our body and our mind a long time to get to this relaxed state. So you never want to rush out of that, losing all those good feelings. So just giving yourself permission to take your time. You can slowly roll over to one side of your body into fetal position one last time. You can stay there a little longer, slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. And then I just want to thank all of you for being here today. I hope you got what you needed. Much love, much light. Namaste. Go ahead and end the recording.